Hi everybody, happy 2025. This video is long overdue and it has to do with jobs in Alaska and the outlook for the job market for 2025. My name is Chi. Welcome to my channel once again. And this is Kristos. He's my partner, but also knows his way around jobs in Alaska. So we're going to ask him a few questions about jobs in Alaska. Okay, so Kristos, can you please tell us a little bit of what you do?
Okay, so I run the largest and oldest rotary equipment repair facility here in Alaska, and we support all of the industries across all of Alaska, the entire state. So we do everything from oil and gas to mining to seafood to the municipalities. We support the infrastructure of all of the little villages, all their drinking water, their wastewater, special power generation needs that they have. We work on all of their machinery. So I have a little bit of insight into every industry up here in Alaska.
Okay. So what do you think the job outlook is looking like overall for 2025?
So the trends that I've been seeing is everyone is starting projects everywhere. The North Slope has new drill pads that they're putting in, new oil exploration and gas exploration. There's a huge new market for propane. All of the infrastructure in all of the major cities are being upgraded. Roads are being upgraded. They're looking for skilled labor in every industry. And this year is going to be just like every big year that they have. They're looking for a lot of expansion, looking for a lot of talented labor, and looking for a lot of general labor as well.
Okay. What are some of the largest employers at the moment?
Okay, so up on the North Slope, where they do the oil and gas, the biggest ones are going to be ConocoPhillips, Hillcorp, Worley, which is a camp facilitator for ConocoPhillips, ASRC, ENI Petroleum. If you go to the seafood industry, you have Silver Bay Seafoods, you have Trident Seafoods, Westward Seafoods, there's Unisea, there's all sorts of different big players in that. You get into the municipalities and you have Anchorage Water, Wastewater Utilities, you have Chugach Electric, you have just everyone has jobs. The biggest companies in a lot of these places have the most, but there's no shortage of jobs in any of them. You start getting into the mining and like gold mining. You have Kinross Gold Mine in Fairbanks. You have Red Dog Mine, which is out west. You have Greens Creek and Hecla down in Juneau. You have major players all over in every industry. There's even state jobs with the Bureau of Land Management, Department of Forestry. Everyone is looking all the time.
We also have a lot in healthcare, nurses, nursing, aides, and tourism is huge here in Alaska, as you can see. Lots of opportunities for people in sustainability, the parks, fish and game, all of those. Okay. Now, who is hiring right now, and like right now in the winter, and what can we look forward to in spring and summer for jobs?
Okay, so a lot of these jobs, like everything for the North Slope, most everything happens in the wintertime because the Arctic environment in the summertime, you just can't work there. You can't drive on those areas. So everything has to be frozen. So winter is when the North Slope work is going to be happening a lot.
Okay.
So they tend to hire a little bit before winter, but they're hiring the whole time that they're in operation. The seafood industry, some of the seafood industry does year-round processing where they're looking for crab, they're looking for pollock. They do the salmon and herring in the summertime. But they'll generally have hiring starting in the winter in preparation for the summer seasons. And then the seasons that are going to be happening in the fall and winter, they're going to be hiring for those at the end of summer. They just kind of stagger it just before the season happens. The Department of Fish and Game, they look for people to do harvest reports and inspection for salmon. That stuff they start hiring around wintertime, early spring to try to fill those jobs by summertime when they're starting to come in.
Fish and Game actually usually starts hiring around March is when they start doing a lot of their hiring. So right now, I would definitely research which areas in Alaska you'd be interested in working in. You've got the southeast, places like Sitka, Ketchikan, Juneau, and then you've got the south central, which is Anchorage area, the Matanuska-Susitna Valley area, and then you have north where you find Fairbanks and other northern cities. So you have a wide array of locations to be working in with some of these departments. But right now would be the perfect research time for a lot of those summer jobs that are coming up, and a lot of them start hiring around March. A lot of fishing industry jobs start hiring around, I want to say April, May to say, because April is the end of herring season, so they're closing up for herring and then they're starting salmon. So usually May is when they're doing a lot of hiring, because people have to be, you have to have processors in these fish plants by June. So
yeah, they'll do that hiring around that time, but they'll also put the job listings out there months before that to try to gain interest. And usually getting your information in with them earlier is better because they have a little bit more time to review it, and it'll get them thinking like, hey, this person has initiative. They're trying to get in there.
Okay. So late last year, I made a video about working and living in Alaska, and I would like to address some of those questions on that video. I had stated that I was going to be making a video, which is this one, talking about jobs in Alaska, and that you should leave any questions that you had about that. So one of the people asked about being a gold diver in Alaska in Nome. What are the prospects for that, and what are some of the qualifications?
So the gold diving in Nome, a lot of that is particular on the season. In the summertime, they have a little barge that they go out on. Some people have bigger rigs, some people have smaller rigs, but they have to float on the ocean or they go in the shallow areas. For the diving, that's specific to certain rigs out there. They also have the ice diving, where they dive under the ice in the wintertime. If you are a certified diver that has the certifications, the qualifications, has your own equipment, it's easier to get a job doing that. Basically, you have to go to Nome. You have to start walking the docks and talking to people, go to the bars and talk to the miners that are in the bars. And there's places that have flyers up looking for help, wanted, stuff like that. But unless you have seasoned diving experience in Alaska in those conditions, you're going to have to start green somewhere on a lower paying rig to work your way up to the big guys. You can't really just jump right into the big guys very easily.
How do you look for a job like that? Where do you go
Sometimes,
as a beginner?
Sometimes what you can do is you can look on Indeed. Indeed is a very, very well-used site up here for getting jobs in every industry. Yeah. Other than that, putting your feet on the ground and going and talking to the people, doing that legwork is really the only way. There's no great channel for finding more obscure jobs like that here in Alaska. If you're looking for a job in Anchorage, downtown, yeah, you're going to find listings and stuff for that easy. All over Marketplace, Indeed, stuff like that. But for diving jobs, for gold mining, oil and gas, you kind of either have to get your feet on the ground or really dig for it.
Okay. I have someone that was asking about seafood processing on shore, because there's seafood processing on big rigs on in the water, and then there's the seafood processing at processing plants onshore. So I'm not sure what the question is, but this person is interested in seafood processing onshore. So you've got a lot of options with seafood processing onshore, lots of options in the southeast. That's where you find places like Sitka, Ketchikan, Juneau.
Sitka, Ketchikan, Juneau, moving up the coast up to Valdez, Cordova area, even moving over towards Whittier. There's some smaller processing facilities up there.
Yeah, Whittier.
You go to Kodiak Island, and there's a bunch of processors there. You go out to the west side by Dutch Harbor and on Alaska, and Naknek, Togiak, those areas, they all have shoreside processors. And then there's also floating processors that work out at sea and have their own units for freezing and processing fish and stay at sea. The easiest way to get in with those places is to just do some research online, find the names of these companies, and reach out to them directly. Or you can go onto Indeed, and they will be posting listings looking for processors, looking for housekeeping, looking for maintenance, looking for crew members for the ships. All of the different positions are going to be listed on whatever they're looking for. They will post listings for it.
Okay. Someone is interested in healthcare and housekeeping.
That is a big one up here. There is always a need for more healthcare workers and housekeeping and things like that. If you want to go work up on the slope, but you don't have a skill like an electrician or a plumber or an oil rig derrick, things like that, but you're a cook, you're a housekeeper, you have maid experience, things like that, there is a ton of that work, because everyone that's going up there, they need to be supported somehow. They need to be fed. They need their places cleaned for them. They need the amenities that everyone expects in a normal living situation. So there are always those jobs. All of the hospitals in the whole state are understaffed significantly. They're always looking for assistance. And if you have those skills, if you have those certifications, you're going to go further up that line than someone that just wants to get into the line of work.
Yeah, there's tons of opportunities for people in healthcare. Nurses, dentists, specialists are highly sought after here. There's just so much demand and not enough supply. So if you're interested in any type of contract work, which we highly recommend, before any type of decision to move. I know some people want to move to Alaska but have never been. We highly recommend starting out seasonally in any department or any profession that offers those options, because you want to see Alaska in at least 2 different seasons to see if it actually works out for you. Because there are some things about Alaska that may not work out for everybody in terms of seasons and the extreme sides of things. So
yeah, I knew some guys that were working up on the North Slope in some of the oil rigs, and they came up from Texas. They've been working the oil fields down in Texas for 15 years. They come up here, they couldn't even make it 1 year. And it's not because of the work itself. It's they couldn't handle 50 degrees below zero all day for 4 months straight.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't handle 4 months of not seeing the sun at all. Like no sunrise. It's dark for 4 to 5 months. They couldn't handle that. It was messing with their mind. They had to go back down. So getting a chance to experience some seasons and come and go, that's going to let you know if living here is what you want, or if you want just a seasonal job.
Yes. Also, when we say this about the seasons and the extreme parts of things, remember that Alaska is a massive state. It's huge, and it has different, what do you want to call that?
Different climates.
It has slightly different climates in different parts. The southeast, again, Sitka, Juneau, Ketchikan, those areas, they're going to be the warmer parts of Alaska. They're going to be more tropical. They are rainforests. So the climate is going to look different from central South Central Alaska, which is Anchorage area, and the Matanuska-Susitna Valley area. So keep that in mind. Depending on where you are going to experience different extremes. But the more milder climate tends to be in the southeast.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, North Slope is a whole different ball game. It's a lot. There are a lot of extremes there. So we just want you to keep that in mind. But moving forward, I would like to finish answering some of these questions here. And then there are foreigners that are interested in getting jobs in Alaska in the fishing industry or in maybe other departments. In the fishing industry, what I do know is that they definitely take in foreigners. A lot of them come from South America. There used to be a lot of opportunities for Eastern Europeans like Russia, Ukraine, and maybe Poland, and maybe other places that I'm not aware of. But we don't have any ways to get you those kinds of jobs or any jobs really at this time. We're just giving you information about where to begin your searches. But what I can say is that I would look into, if you're a foreigner, I would look into your relationship with the United States, and the embassies have a lot of information. You can either go to the embassy or you can just look online at the embassy of the United States in whatever country that you are in and see what they're offering, what types of visas they're offering for work opportunities.
Additionally, the companies that are listing those jobs, they will know what kind of visas they're able to get or that they're able to accept for work in their field. So sometimes if you have questions, those employers can help answer those.
Yes. Contacting the employer, just calling their customer service phone number or HR phone number, you can just start there. They will give you that information. Hello, my name is John. I am calling from this country. I have some questions about foreign work opportunities. What can you tell me about the opportunities? Do you offer work visas for this country? Or, and they'll give you that information.
Yeah.
So that is as much as I can do to help with that, unfortunately. But anyways, so I know that there's another video or a couple other videos that I have that have a lot of questions. I think one of the videos is the Silver Bay Seafoods video about working in Silver Bay and what you need to know in detail. That one got a lot of questions, and I have to make a separate video to answer all those questions because there are a lot, and I will be working on that. This 2025, I'm going to be cranking out more videos, more information about Alaska. I'm going to be a little more consistent. So if you are still interested and you appreciate this information, please hit that follow button or share with anybody that might use this information. Kristos here also has a YouTube channel, and he does a lot of machining on it. Kristos, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, the name.
The name is Greek Viking Restoration.
I will tag him in this.
Yeah, we'll tag it on here. And it just shows me working on some machinery, doing some startups on some machinery that I've installed. I've been really busy with work, so it's kind of gotten neglected, but I need to get back into doing more content on that. And if you have more questions about work in Alaska, specific to certain industries, let us know. We would be happy to talk more about it, and we can help you out with some of that information.
Yes. I think that's it. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching and tuning in, and keep your eye out for the next video. Remember, hit subscribe and turn your notifications on. I should have a video out every single week. So thanks. Lastly, I am going to be adding the links to some of these big companies that we mentioned, ConocoPhillips, Silver Bay Seafoods, mining places, and other things. I will have the links that take you to those companies' websites, and you can comb through a lot of that information to get some insight on what the company does. And usually those will also have information for hiring. If I do see specific links for hiring for those jobs or anything that we mentioned, I will also be adding it in the description. So please check the description for any extra information that I may have missed and will be adding. I hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.